My knees buckled under the weight of the cooler. I just set it down in the middle of the gravel path. Michael looked back, annoyed. "Dad, we're losing daylight. Pick it up." I didn't. That's when everything changed. But let me back up. 3 months earlier, my son called me for the first time in 8 months. Not on my birthday, not on Father's Day, but on a Tuesday in March. "Dad, how about that Alaska trip we always talked about?" His voice had that manufactured enthusiasm I'd learned to recognize. "You and me, father-son fishing. Like the old days. There were no old days." Michael was 12 the last time we went fishing together, before he discovered girls and video games, and then college, and then Jessica. But I was 64, a widower for 3 years, and my phone didn't ring much anymore. So, when your only child calls, you say yes. "That sounds great, son. Perfect. I'll book everything. Jessica's been wanting to see Alaska too. You don't mind if she comes, right? She'll stay out of the way during the fishing." I should have known then, but I told myself I was being paranoid. I told myself that maybe, just maybe, he actually wanted to spend time with his old man. The trip was set for early June. 5 days at a fishing lodge outside Ketchikan. Michael sent me a list of what to bring. It was detailed, almost too detailed. Heavy-duty rain gear. The expensive kind, Dad. We'll be on the water a lot. Your truck. We'll need the 4-wheel drive. Cash. The lodge is remote. ATMs don't work out there. I spent $847 on rain gear. I drove my truck 2,300 miles from Boise to Seattle, then took the ferry to Ketchikan because Michael said, "We'll need your truck up there, Dad. Trust me." He and Jessica flew in, of course. I met them at the airport. Jessica kissed my cheek. She smelled expensive. "Dad, you look great." Michael grabbed my shoulder, but his eyes were already scanning the parking lot. "Where'd you park?" I pointed to my Silverado. I'd washed it that morning. Detailed the interior. I thought maybe they'd appreciate it. "Perfect. Pop the tailgate. We've got some gear." Some gear turned out to be 7 suitcases, 4 duffel bags, and 3 hardshell cases I recognized as high-end camera equipment. "Mike, honey, be careful with that one." Jessica pointed to a pink suitcase. "My dresses are in there." Dresses. For a fishing lodge. I started loading. Michael stood there, scrolling his phone. Jessica fixed her lipstick in my side mirror. "Dad, can you put the heavy ones in first? Don't want them crushing Jessica's stuff." My back had 3 herniated discs. Souvenir from 26 years in the fire department. But I loaded the bags. When I reached for the camera equipment, Michael finally moved. Whoa, I'll get those. They're worth more than the truck." He laughed. I didn't. The lodge was 90 miles north, up a logging road that hadn't seen maintenance since the Clinton administration. It took 3 hours. I drove. Michael had the map on his phone but kept losing signal. "This road is insane, Dad." "Good thing we have your truck." Jessica sat in the back, complaining about the dust, the bumps, the lack of cell service. Every 10 minutes. Are we there yet? We weren't there yet. We wouldn't be there yet for another 2 hours and 40 minutes. But I drove. I drove because he was my son. I drove because I thought this trip might fix something between us that had been broken for years, though I couldn't name exactly when it broke. The lodge was beautiful. Right on the water. Float planes tied up at the dock. Mountains everywhere. The owner, Bill, came out to greet us. "Robert, good to see you, buddy." We'd talked on the phone when I made the reservation, when I paid the $4,200 deposit, when I paid the remaining $8,300 balance 2 weeks ago. Michael stepped forward, hand extended. "I'm Michael. This is my wife, Jessica. Thanks for having us." Bill looked at me, then at Michael, then back at me. I saw the question in his eyes. I gave him a small shake of my head. "Not now." "Right. Well, let's get you folks settled." Bill helped me with the bags. Michael filmed everything with his phone. Jessica took selfies on the dock. Our cabin had 2 bedrooms. I assumed I'd get the smaller one. I was wrong. "Dad, Do you mind if Jessica and I take the master? The other room only has a twin bed. And, you know, Michael gestured vaguely. I knew. The twin bed had a mattress from 1987. Springs poked through. But I nodded. I nodded because that's what I'd been doing for 38 years of fatherhood. I nodded. That first night, Bill served fresh halibut at the main lodge. Best fish I'd ever tasted. We sat at a long table with the other guests. Lawyers from Portland, a retired couple from Vermont, a young woman from Norway traveling solo. The bill came. Everyone had settled their meals ahead of time as part of their package. Except Michael and Jessica. Bill looked uncomfortable. Michael, the dinner's $67 per person. I can add it to your room. Or, oh man, Bill, I left my wallet in the cabin. Michael patted his pockets theatrically. Dad, can you grab this? I'll Venmo you. $67 times 2. $134. Plus tip. I put down $160. Michael never Venmo'd me. The next morning, we were supposed to be on the water at 6. I was up at 5. Dressed. Ready. I knocked on their door. At 5:45. Dad, Jesus, it's early. Michael's voice through the door, thick with sleep. The guide's waiting, son. Go ahead. We'll catch up. They didn't catch up. At 7, Bill found me having coffee on the dock. Your group ready to head out? Just me, I guess. He studied my face. Robert, you okay? I was 64 years old. I'd pulled people out of burning buildings. I'd held my wife's hand when she died. But I couldn't tell this stranger that my son didn't actually want to fish with me. That I'd driven 2,300 miles and paid $12,500 for a trip he wasn't even going to show up for. I'm fine, Bill. The fishing was incredible. I caught 3 kings, released 2, kept 1. The guide, a Tlingit man named Samuel, didn't ask questions. We fished in silence, which was exactly what I needed. When I got back at 2, Michael and Jessica were in the main lodge, eating lunch. Dad, how was it? Michael waved me over like we were old friends meeting by chance. Good. Caught a king. That's awesome. Hey, can you get this? I still don't have my wallet, and Jessica's card isn't working for some reason. The lunch was $43. I paid $50. That night, Michael had a plan. Dad, tomorrow there's this helicopter fishing thing. Bill told us about it. You fly up to these remote lakes, fish for lake trout and grayling. It's supposed to be amazing. Sounds expensive. It's only $600 per person. Only. Dad, you should come. When are you ever going to do something like this again? Never. Probably. I was retired on a firefighter's pension. I had savings, but they were for emergencies. For the nursing home I'd probably need someday. Not for helicopter rides. But Michael was excited. It was the most excited I'd seen him about anything all trip. And I thought, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the memory we'll make. Okay, I'll do it. Yes. Dad, this is going to be epic. Bill booked it. 3 seats on the morning helicopter. $1,800. I put it on my visa. That night, I couldn't sleep. The twin bed springs dug into my side. Through the thin walls, I could hear Michael and Jessica talking. Can't believe he actually said yes. Michael's voice, laughing. I know, right? Free trip to Alaska and he's paying for the helicopter. Your dad's so easy. Jessica's voice, mean in a way I hadn't heard before. He's been like this my whole life. Never says no. It's actually kind of sad. My stomach turned over. I lay there in the dark, springs pressing into my spine, and something in me cracked. Not broke. Cracked. There's a difference. The helicopter was supposed to leave at 9. At 8, I was at Bill's office. Bill, I need to ask you something. When Michael called you to book this trip, what exactly did he say? Bill shifted in his chair. Robert, I probably shouldn't. Please, he sighed. He said his dad was paying for everything. Accommodation, meals, activities. He was very specific about making sure I understood that. He also asked about the helicopter fishing and whether I could talk you into it. The crack widened. Thank you for being honest. Robert, look, I've been running this lodge for 19 years. I've seen a lot of families, a lot of dynamics, and if you want my unsolicited advice, I do. Your son is using you, and you're letting him. At 8:47, I walked to the dock where the helicopter was warming up. Michael and Jessica were already there, filming themselves, excited. Dad, ready for this? Michael had his arm around Jessica. They looked like an ad for North Face jackets. The pilot, a woman named Sarah, was doing her pre-flight check. I walked up to her. Sarah, I need to cancel my seat. What? Dad, what are you talking about? Michael stopped filming. I'm not going, but you already paid for it. I know, so we should all go. Don't waste the money. I looked at my son, really looked at him. At 38, he looked like me at that age. Same jaw, same eyes, but those eyes were looking at me like I was an obstacle, not a father. You and Jessica go. Enjoy it. But Dad, he was calculating something. I could see it. Actually, okay, that's cool. We'll get great footage. Make sure to grab our lunch from the lodge before we go, okay? And can you move the truck? It's blocking the other guests. That's when I set down my burden. Not physically, not yet, but mentally. No. Michael blinked. What? I said no. Get your own lunch. Move your own bags. I'm done. Dad, what's your problem? We're about to leave. I know. Have a good flight. I walked back to the cabin. My hands were shaking, but not from fear. From something else. Relief. Maybe. I started packing. It took 10 minutes. I traveled light. Then I went to Bill's office. I need to check out early. When? Today. Now. Bill didn't argue. He printed my receipt. The helicopter gets back at 2. You leaving before then? Yes. Good. I pulled out my phone. Called my credit card company. The one I'd given Michael for emergencies. Yes. I need to report my card as lost. Cancel it immediately. The woman on the phone was efficient. Done, sir. We'll mail you a new one. Thank you. I loaded my bag into the truck. Started the engine. It was 23 inches the morning. The drive back down that logging road felt different. Lighter. I stopped halfway to Ketchikan at a pullout overlooking a lake. Sat there for 20 minutes. Just breathing. My phone started ringing at 2:47. Michael. I let it go to voicemail. It rang 9 more times before I got to the ferry terminal. I turned it off. I took the ferry back to Seattle. Drove to Boise. Took my time. Stopped at diners. Slept in motels with clean sheets and HBO. Fished in Montana for 2 days with a guide I hired just for myself. 3 days after I got home, I turned my phone back on. 67 missed calls. 42 text messages. The voicemails were a progression. First one, Michael, annoyed. Dad, where are you? We got back and your truck's gone. Call me. Third one, Michael, angry. Dad, this isn't funny. You left us stranded. Bill says you checked out. What the hell? Seventh one, Jessica. Robert, I don't know what's going on with you, but this is incredibly immature. We had to rent a car to get to the airport. Michael is very upset. 15th one, Michael. Dad, your credit card got declined at the rental place. I had to use mine. You owe me $387. Call me back. 23rd one, Michael. A different tone. Dad, I'm worried about you. Are you okay? Please call me. Let me know you're safe. I texted back. I'm fine. I'm home. He called immediately. I answered. Dad. What the hell? You just left? Yes. Why? Because I was tired. Michael. Tired of what? We were having a great time. No. You were having a great time. I was carrying your bags. Silence. Dad. I don't understand. I heard you, Michael, that night before the helicopter. I heard what you said about me. What Jessica said. More silence. We were just joking. No. You weren't. And that's okay. You're 38. You don't owe me anything. But I don't owe you anything either. Not anymore. Dad, come on. Don't be like this. I'm sorry, okay? We're sorry. I believe you're sorry I left. I don't believe you're sorry for what you said. So what? You're just cutting me off? No. I'm just not carrying your cooler anymore. I hung up. That was 4 months ago. Last week, Michael called. First time since Alaska. Dad, Jessica's pregnant. You're going to be a grandfather. I felt something. Not joy. Not exactly. But something. Congratulations. We were thinking, maybe you could help us with the nursery? And there's going to be a lot of expenses. Babies are expensive. I thought maybe, there it was. Michael, I'm going to tell you something, and I need you to really hear it. I will always love you. But I'm not your ATM. I'm not your pack mule. I'm your father, and I deserve respect. I do respect you, then prove it. Come visit me. Not because you need something. Not because you want me to pay for something. Just come see your old man. Have a beer. Watch a game. Tell me about your life. Okay. Yeah. I can do that. Good. When you're ready, I'll be here. He hasn't come yet. He might not come at all. And I'm learning to be okay with that. Last month, I booked a trip to New Zealand. Fly fishing. Going by myself. Leaving in February. I told the guide I'm traveling alone. He said, "Best way to travel, mate." Maybe he's right. Yesterday, I was at the grocery store. Ran into Bill. He was in Boise visiting his daughter. "Robert, how are you?" "Good, Bill. Really good. I heard what happened. After you left." Michael called me, screaming. Demanding a refund. Said you abandoned them. What'd you tell him? I told him his father paid in full, and what he did with his trip was his own business. Then I may have mentioned that you were one of the most decent men I'd met, and he should be ashamed of himself. You didn't have to do that. Yeah, I did. We talked for a while. He told me about his grandkids. I told him about New Zealand. You know, he said, we get solo travelers all the time. Some of the best guests. You should come back sometime. On your own terms. Maybe I will. Walking to my truck, I felt it again. That lightness. Like I'd been carrying a cooler full of rocks for 38 years and finally set it down. My son might never understand. He might never apologize. He might never be the person I wanted him to be. But I understand now. I understand that love doesn't mean servitude. That being a father doesn't mean being a doormat. That sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away. The spring in my twin bed at that lodge wasn't what broke my back. It was the weight of everything I'd carried before that. Every time I said yes when I meant no. Every time I paid when I shouldn't have. Every time I nodded and smiled and pretended it didn't hurt. I'm 64 years old. I'm a widower. My phone doesn't ring much. My son doesn't call unless he needs money. But I'm going to New Zealand in February. I'm going to fish in rivers I can't pronounce. I'm going to eat food I've never tried. I'm going to sleep in beds with good mattresses and wake up when I want to. And maybe, someday, Michael will call. Really call. Not for money. Not for help. Just to talk. Just to say, "Dad, I get it now. I'm sorry." Or maybe he won't. Either way, I'm not carrying his cooler anymore. I'm free, and that's worth more than all the salmon in Alaska.